Think about someone who finishes their PhD. They are likely to have a great career ahead. But what if they are offered a choice? Stick to the known path after PhD for a good life and good career, or take a leap into the unknown to find happiness. So, guys, here we come to talk about Matthieu Ricard, a Buddhist monk all the way from France. But he is not just that. He is also a French writer, photographer, and translator. He is the son of philosopher and artist. Quite the background, right? But here where it gets really interesting. When he was just 16-year-old, he had dinner with none other than legendary composer Stravinsky. And guess what? He went on to complete his PhD under the guidance of none other than Nobel Prize winner Francois Charcot at Pasteur University, France. Now, that's already a hint that he had a great future if he had chosen life after PhD. While he was in France, he went to Himalayan areas of India about 5 to 6 times. He also saw the documentary named The Message of the Tibetans. This film was made by the French filmmaker Arnaud Desjardins. This filmmaker spent 6 months in the Himalayas making a video about important Tibetan teachers. After he finished his PhD degree in 1972, he didn't stay where he was. He left everything he had and went to Darjeeling, a place in India. He did this to focus on meditation and thinking deeply. His strong dedication to improving himself on the inside can be seen in his decision. He learned from the Tibetan master named Kangyu Rinpoche during this time. Back in 1996, something interesting happened. Matthieu Ricard decided to take part in 12-year study about the brain. This study is all about meditation and compassion. A very smart person named Richard Davidson, who knows a lot about how the brain can change, was leading this study. He works at the university called University of Wisconsin. Fast forward to 2008, Ricard was involved in some cool experiments with Richard Davidson. He had scans done on his brain. Davidson attached 256 sensors on Matthieu Ricard's brain at University of Wisconsin. They did this because to know more about how brain works when people meditate and feel compassion. And you can guess what they found. When Ricard meditated on compassion, his brain made special waves called gamma waves. These waves are connected to important things like consciousness, attention, memory, and learning. Davidson, the brain scientist, said that this was something new that they hadn't seen before in the studies. The scans also showed excessive activity in his brain's left prefrontal cortex than compared to the right counterpart. This means that Ricard had a big ability to feel happy. Here's a fun trick. If you look at the result in a graph, if the waves go more towards the right, it means someone is feeling sad and negativity and depression. If the waves goes towards the left, it means the person is feeling happy. Here's the truth. Among the hundreds of volunteers whose scores ranged from plus 0.3 to minus 0.3, Ricard achieved a remarkable score that is minus 0.45, a feat that never attained before. After this, he was titled World's Happiest Man. In one of the interviews, Ricard said, "It's a playful title that journalists can use. But anyway, I enjoy every moment of my life." Ricard explains that his happiness comes from practicing altruism, that is unselfishness, and practicing kindness, that is benevolent. Matthieu Ricard and Davidson's 12-year study on brain found that long-term practitioners who did 50,000 rounds of meditation achieved a remarkable results. However, also Davidson said that even 3 weeks of meditation for 20 minutes a day can bring a positive change. Also, Davidson emphasizes that happiness is a skill for everyone. Matthieu Ricard is not just a meditator, he is also a writer. In the year 1997, he and his father co-authored a book called The Monk and the Philosopher, which sold 500,000 copies. Even though he gained a lot of resources from this success, he said, "I am not interested in buying a house with swimming pool and a car." All the royalties from his books are dedicated to supporting education, schools, clinics in Tibet, Nepal, India, and even some in Bhutan. Up to now, he has written numerous books including titles like Happiness, the Art of Meditation, In Search of Wisdom, Altruism, Quantum and the Lotus, A Plea for the Animals, and many more. All the proceedings from his books go towards humanitarian projects that provide education, help people in clinics, health, and more, benefiting hundreds of thousands of people. He is also a well-known photographer and a confidant of the Dalai Lama. So what learning should we adopt in our lives according to Matthieu Ricard? Discover happiness through meditation with altruism and benevolence. Learn compassion through meditation, and to be happy, you must wish for the well-being of others. When Matthieu Ricard asked what happens when you engage in compassion, he says, when you hear a distressing sound like someone calling for help, there is an activation in an area of the brain called the insula, which has to do with empathy and unselfishness. This activation is more pronounced than in non-meditators. There are many papers in attention that have shown remarkable improvements in focusing on a task after 3 months of meditation. Let's adopt the learnings from Matthieu Ricard and express our gratitude to him. That's all from me, guys. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. Goodbye.